Anna Sorokin, aka Anna Delvey, is best known as a convicted con artist who stole some $200,000 from banks, luxury hotels, and individuals while pretending to be the heir to a $67 million trust fund. Her story was then captured in the Shonda Rhimes-produced Netflix miniseries Inventing Anna. Sorokin talks to Forbes about life under house arrest, her lucrative art career, and the inspiration she takes from Sam Bankman-Fried. How's it going?
Well, it's been really busy so far. I'm really happy and grateful that I got the opportunity to be out and I'm not in jail anymore. But yeah, it's been pretty wild.
So what does a day in house arrest look like for you?
Well, so far I've been pretty busy. So I'm having people over all the time, and I've done a bunch of shoots. So usually I'm up pretty early. I'm either doing an interview or I'm recording my podcast or I'm working on my art. Yeah, so I've been busy so far. I'm sure I will be talking differently in 2 months or 3 months from now, but so far.
What do you mean, talking differently?
Well, I'm sure it's going to get old. Now it's just I'm excited, I'm out, and
Yeah.
I have the phone, I can get food delivery, but yeah, it's very restrictive. I cannot go anywhere at all.
Why did you decide to stay in New York?
Well, I just love the city, and I feel like my criminal appeal is still pending, so I should get a chance to finish that. Because once you're in Europe, nobody cares. All that just becomes completely irrelevant.
Or if you were to be at a party and you were to introduce yourself, what would that introduction be like? How do you describe yourself?
Gosh, oh my gosh, I hate that question. I don't know. I feel like it would be I'm just assuming people are going to Google me. So
I saw some of your art. You signed it Anna Delvey. Do you
Yeah.
go by Anna Delvey?
I think so. This is just people kind of recognize me more, but there's no real difference. I think both names are being used equally from what I'm understanding.
And to you, there's no difference?
No, I don't have a split personality or anything. I don't act different.
You mentioned your art. Tell us a bit about that.
I started doing some sketches during my trial, and I kind of continued while I was in prison. And earlier this year, I created a little collection of 21 pieces, and I had a little show earlier this year, and now I'm excited to have new tools, and I'm using canvases, and I had a little party doing Miami Basel.
How much does a work of yours go for?
I think it's between 15 and 25,000. It depends on the size of the piece.
And is that your main source of income?
Yes, for now.
Can you share how much you've sold of it?
Well, I sold quite a lot of prints of my artworks that I've made earlier this year, and I'm working on a bunch of other projects. I'm working on my book, my podcast, my dinner series, my clothing line, but everything's in the works, so everything. I've sold a lot of prints. We sold over $300,000 worth of prints. Which go for cheaper. I think they start at $250 for a print for a 9x12. And we sold a couple of originals. I would say around 7 maybe. I don't know. I'm not the one who's dealing with it. I have.
You made a virtual appearance at Art Basel Miami Beach this year. I don't know if you know, but one of the top moments of Art Basel Miami Beach involved this ATM by an art collective, Mischief, where if you put in your card, it would announce the amount of money on your card. People were moving money from account to account to either appear higher or to have 420 as their bank account balance.
I would go the Sam Bankman-Fried route.
What is
down
that?
to my last $100. I'm trying to make my story to be I made a mistake, but I'm trying to turn this around without trying to glamorize the mistake itself. It's hopefully people will just take the event of adversity and kind of apply it to whatever bad thing happened to them and work from there without going back and recommitting the bad thing.
Yeah.
Because it's there were a lot of times before Netflix thing happened where I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how long I will have to spend in prison. There's just so much uncertainty. You just never know what's going to happen to you. It may look glamorous from the outside, but yeah, there's just so much work that goes in there, and just so much that I have to deal on a daily basis.
Yeah. And so now Do you have a better sense of timeline for yourself? I know that you're fighting deportation.
Well, I'm a little bit further from deportation than I was before I got released, because once you get released, you get transferred to a non-detained docket, as opposed to when you're in jail, your case is expedited. But even then, immigration is so there's no transparency really, and there's the backlog, especially from COVID, is so long. You never know. Like, I might get a response next month or not in 2 years, and nobody really knows.
And so you would be under house arrest. You're under house arrest.
I'm trying to get some of the conditions lifted.
Okay.
But there's no guarantee I ever will. So yeah, and that's another thing. I just never know what's going to happen. So maybe I'll be successful or maybe not.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 10 or 20 years?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm just trying to take it day by day, and just trying to kind of make the best out of what I'm working with right now. But it's really hard to make any plans. Hopefully I'm working on a project that I like.
Since you've been under house arrest, you've kind of wasted no time in re-entering the public eye through many, many interviews. This is just one of them. Why?
Well, I feel like I'm going to be written about regardless. People are still going to write that I got released. There will still be photographers outside my house. So I may as well turn it into something positive, and just kind of channel the attention towards what I'm working on right now, and try to move away from, until now the conversation has been, oh, crimes, this, that. So it's been mostly negative. So if I can use that and kind of give attention to the projects I'm working on now, and also with my dinner series, I'm trying to involve some social good component to it. I will be collaborating with some charities that immigration and criminal justice reform focused. So hopefully people will give me a chance.
Yeah, have you had any difficulties getting sources or funding for something like this dinner series, support?
No, not really. I'm not really looking for funding for that. So I'm working with a production company and that will be filmed, and with a charity. I don't know. I have not been to that stage yet.
Do you have any hesitation about spreading yourself too thin with all of this?
Well, I'm lucky. I'm just trying to work with best of the best people. So it's a lot of it is just kind of just getting the best person. I had to find it out the hard way, because you're kind of trying to kind of cut corners and kind of be cheap on some people. It just never works. It's you're just going to end up figuratively paying for your choices tenfold later on. So yes, and it's always a process, and I'm okay if it some of it will take longer. I'm just trying not to, I'm getting all kinds of offers. I'm trying not to jump on everything.
And do you have any worries about the financial pressures of hiring the best of the best?
Well, obviously we're discussing the financials beforehand. So
yeah,
definitely I'm way more careful now with kind of the optics, because I feel so many people just can't wait to for me to just oh, Anna owes me $50. They just can't wait for me to slip up and just just quick accuse me. It's understandable, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good.
You wrote an essay and you said that you hoped that by the time Inventing Anna came out, you would have moved on with your life, and that it would be a conclusion to a long chapter. Do you feel like that happened?
Clearly not. I'm a little bit further than I was earlier this year, so hopefully now the Netflix series is out, and they're still kind of writing about it, but hopefully the next year something else will come along. So let's see. Yeah, it's a process. I don't expect it to be overnight.
I'm gonna ask you a question that you get asked a lot, but I'll ask it in two parts. The first part is, how have you changed over the past few years? And the second part is, are you sick of being asked that question?
No, the question I'm the most of being sick of asked of is if I watched the Netflix series.
Really? Have you?
No, still did not. That can change, I guess, any day, but still not, huh? Well, I've been through the whole like criminal justice and immigration system, and I just met so many people, and I totally kind of switched my priorities because all I used to care about like kind of earlier was very kind of like shallow and superficial, and I thought like I was so well traveled and like I knew all kinds of people, but I did not. It was like still the same like type of person, like somebody who travels a lot, like who cares about art, and I was not really exposed to the people who like get to go to jail. So it was like a really eye-opening experience, and yeah, I did learn a lot. It's like you cannot just go for something like that and stay the same. Yeah, and like I have a lot more interest in like in kind of the whole like politics and society, because I've been affected by it myself. Like when Biden got elected, they lifted my ICE warrant, and that's the only reason I got released last year, and because he tried to like put moratoriums on all deportations. And 6 weeks later, they were more in the clear with the rules, and this is why I got rearrested, not because of anything I've done like myself. It's like literally just the rules and the switch of the administration.
What do you feel like more people should know about you?
Well, well, hopefully they will realize that my intentions were never like to commit fraud or to commit any crimes, and like I've generally made some mistakes, and yeah, hopefully they will give me a chance to move on and not just like try to. I think like it happens more to women than it does to men. Like women are like being witchified a lot, like, you know, when it's like it's normal for men to like make mistakes and fail, but women are like witches and cons and like so deceiving, and like they just like out to like get something from you, which I think is not fair.
What does it feel like being famous for being a con artist?
I don't see myself as a con artist, so but I do realize that I wouldn't even say that I ever wanted to be famous. I was just working on my project and I was trying to make something happen, and I guess it just like attracted all this media attention. Well, I feel kind of responsibility not to glamorize crime and just kind of like to show people, like hopefully I'm not going to inspire anybody to commit crimes in order to become famous. So yeah, hopefully people, like it's just very kind of hard to show somebody, because I guess when people like Google me, they see like me going to trial and I'm out of jail, like from a photo shoot to photo shoot, but nobody really gets to see like the jail part of it, because like there are no cameras in jail and I spent a lot of time in there, so, and like it wasn't all great and glamorous. So
do you want to tell me a bit about that?
Well, yeah, it's just like there are no photographers and Rikers, and it's still like it's not great. Like I made it work, but and it's still like it's a tough place, and
yeah,
nobody. It's like you should not. Hopefully, like nobody will decide like let me go to jail and become famous. So.